There was this instant, oh my gosh, like this is going really great. And then an immediate slam to reality of this is going to take time. You have to just start making stuff and getting feedback from people. It was a wing it type of situation. Used our iPhones.
7 million views in 3 weeks.
I had no idea that it would be so popular, that it would spur an entire genre and billions of views.
As more people were entering the space, do you think that helped your channel?
Now I do. At the time, I was not feeling as confident. They're prettier than me, they're producing more content than me, because I was still working full time, so I couldn't do that much. And loneliness has definitely been a major thing I've had to deal with and tackle since going full-time YouTuber.
This is Making It, the show that explores what it takes to be a full-time YouTuber. Each episode, we bring you a new creator and explore their successes, strategies, and lessons learned. Today, we welcome Hannah B. Since 2020, her ASMR content has accrued over 228 million views, 700,000 subscribers, and over $500,000 in YouTube ad revenue alone. Hannah, thanks for joining us and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, Hannah, take me back to your earliest YouTube memory.
Oh man, I was pretty young. I might have been late high school or early college, and YouTube wasn't really a platform for creators at that point. It was just a hosting site where people threw up old videos or dumb little videos of themselves. I don't remember it being like, oh, this is like TV. That wasn't how it was when I first got introduced to YouTube.
Was there ever a time during that period where you thought, I want to put something up on YouTube?
Not at that time. I feel like, again, at that time, it wasn't really a content platform where creators were consciously making videos to become popular. It was such a random grouping of videos and pieces of entertainment. I don't think I thought to myself until much later, like, oh, I can do this. Like, I can put something up online. That would have been maybe, 10 years later or 8 years later, something like that.
So take me back, like pre-COVID, what is life like for you? Where are you? What are you doing?
So pre-COVID, I was living in Brooklyn, New York. I was working in the city, commuting every day, working in marketing and public relations for big companies, very corporate jobs. There was some creativity, but there were a lot of guardrails to it. And by the time I got back the work that I had submitted, it was completely different because of all the checks and balances and notes and feedback. So I was sort of just mildly moving along with life. I wasn't particularly driven or motivated, but I was also living in New York and having a great time and going out and seeing shows, and just work was just a means to an end. It wasn't a passion of mine. Then COVID hit, and in New York City, COVID was not a fun time, and it really did change my life and my partner, now husband Jeremy's life. We were living together at the time. It was a really stark change to our reality and got me sort of thinking of, what do I do with my future? Like, the future could be so different. And I had never stopped and had time to think about that before. So we actually attempted to make our first ASMR video in New York City, probably like a year before our first one went up online, and it was just too noisy. And I was like, this doesn't work. Like, there's someone setting off fireworks outside. So that was my first attempt. And then I kind of just gave up and didn't revisit it until after we moved west.
What type of content was that first video that you made?
I think it was just like a classic sort of ASMR scalp check, but I don't even know if we got like 4 or 5 minutes into filming before I gave up. And I was just like, this sounds terrible. I'm using my phone. I don't have any equipment. It's just, I don't think we really finished the video in any meaningful way.
So you never even posted it?
Never. I don't know where it is. I probably deleted it within like hours.
And that was how long before you did post?
Probably like a year.
Wow. Okay, it's 2020. We're in the heart of the pandemic. You moved to Seattle from New York.
Mm-hmm.
You're working in corporate America again. And at what point do you start thinking again about trying YouTube?
So I, at my heart, am an ASMR superfan. I have always struggled with insomnia and sleep. I was not a person who was like, I want to be a YouTuber at any cost, and ASMR is where I can see myself making strides. I just love the genre. I have no interest in doing any other form of content. I watch ASMR every single night. I have since college. I used to Google, put into the YouTube search, like nursing final assessment, March 2008, like looking for the newest unintentional ASMR videos that people have uploaded for their school. I think it was over the winter holidays because we were both off work. And I don't know, it was just, again, we were just so isolated. Let's give it one more go. I honestly don't know what I was thinking other than just being bored.
Was there any content creator specifically that inspired you or had you thinking like, oh, I would love to do that, but if they did it like this, they did it a little bit different? Like anyone that stood out to you during that time?
Yeah, definitely. So I tend to gravitate towards unintentional ASMR. So a lot of my videos, especially the early ones, were based off of people who never tried to make an ASMR video, but it just came out like that. But I think when I saw Samita, who we all know, doing an intentional, unintentional exam for the first time, I thought, oh, you can do unintentional ASMR intentionally. So yeah, she was a huge inspiration and really happy to now be able to call her my friend.
Did you feel like it was like an underserved area? Like it was your favorite maybe, and you weren't finding enough content and you thought like, oh, there's a gap here. Like, let me fill it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was definitely, I watched this video 40 times, 50 times. Like if I had another video that was similar, then I could watch each of them 25 times. And yeah, I felt like a lot of ASMR was still very POV style, talking to camera. There were people who did ASMR on real people, but it was still very ASMR traditional. So it would be like giving my friend a paper haircut, and they would be cutting pieces of paper off their hair. And it sounds good and it looks good, but for me, the satisfying part is the realism of an actual experience that you would actually have in real life. So I felt that was underserved for sure.
So there's definitely like a strategic component to your entry into YouTube. So what do you think was your goal? Like you must have been thinking about like fantasizing about like what's possible. Did you imagine a future where this was a full-time gig? What did you think was the limit?
I mean, I certainly didn't imagine that it would be a full-time job for years and years to come. But I do have a lot of unearned self-confidence. So I felt like the first video I made was good. I felt like people would like it. I felt confident enough to post it on the subreddit for ASMR. And I wasn't shocked when people responded positively to it. But I think it would have just been a lot of hubris to assume that, yeah, it would turn into what it did. It's not something you can plan for. I remember saying to Jeremy, like, after our first video got 1,000 views or something like that, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I think we could make a couple $100s a month, like maybe even like $500 or $800 a month off this. Like, this is crazy, like off of something I love to do. So I had some expectations of success, but certainly not to the level that it became.
That's an interesting strategy, using Reddit. I've definitely heard people talk about that before. Did you just like think that up yourself, or did you like research like how to get my YouTube channel going, and like how long did you rely on Reddit?
Honestly, like it's all just taken from my own life and experiences. So I used ASMR Reddit, the subreddit for ASMR, to find videos that I liked. So I knew it existed. So I posted on it because I was already a member of the community. Like I think being a part of the ASMR community for so long before I started creating was really helpful for me in knowing where people find their content, how they look for it, and the resources, because I was a viewer before I was a creator.
I talk to so many people who say that they want to start a YouTube channel, be a YouTuber, and they might be hung up on like, what niche do I pick? Or they might know their niche, but they're like, I don't know how to create content, like whatever it is, like they never take that first jump, as simple as it seems to somebody who's done it. And so I wanted to look at your first title, and like I watched this the other day, and like I noticed
so embarrassing.
that you and Jeremy both have like this half smile on your faces.
We're like what are we doing?
Time.
This is so dumb.
So, and I know that you have
oh
experience.
my God, look at that camera. It's so out of focus.
I know you have experience in the media world. Like, how much of that do you think played into the creation of your first video, or like the confidence that you needed to create a video? Like, why didn't you get hung up where others do?
I think it does stem back to, there is some personality to it, like that unearned confidence that I have. I have always been like a decent public speaker and felt kind of like what I have to say is worth hearing. Call it good parenting maybe, or I don't know, narcissism. But I didn't go into it wanting it to be a YouTuber. I went into it wanting to make ASMR. And that, I think, was a lot easier for me than having to choose what niche and what I think would be most successful. And I didn't have to think about any of that because I knew what I wanted to make. I was like, oh, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I feel drawn to. And I don't know if I cared about being successful. In fact, I think I was a little scared of any form of notoriety or expectations of people around me.
When you first started, was there a big prep that you took in to get it going? Did you buy equipment? Did you get cameras and microphones and like research how to do these live, performances in a way?
No, we really just, it was a wing it type of situation. Used our iPhones. I did have a little point and shoot camera, for vacations and things like that. And I had never used it. I had bought it thinking I was going to start taking more video of my life. Like never used it. So it was 3 years old at that point. A lot of people, when they ask me for advice of what to do and how to become a YouTuber, they're like, what should I get? What should I buy? And I'm like, you do have to just start making stuff. Like the quality will go up over time, but you have to just start making stuff and getting feedback from people. But of course, our first video did much better than our second video. So I think there was this instant, like, oh my gosh, like, this is going really great. And then an immediate sort of slam to reality of, oh no, like this is going to take time, energy.
Before we continue, we threw around a whole bunch of ideas about how to get you to like and subscribe to this channel because of how incredibly important it is for us.
We didn't really want to come up with some shameless plug, but here we are asking for your help because that's what you got to do in order to grow. We can't do this without you. Subscribe now.
You post your first video December 15th, 2020, and it's relatively flat until February. So you actually were monetized in February as well. So that's less than 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
You commonly hear YouTube takes about 2 years to like take off a YouTube channel, like 1 to 2 years. You did it in 2 months. And then in your first 3 months, you had 10x growth in views, up to 300K a month by February. And you made $2,000 in your first fully monetized month.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was like, what the hell? This is amazing. I paid my rent,
What was your first feeling when you, on that very first day of monetization, were you expecting it to be a lot, a little? Did you have no clue? Like, what were you going through during that point?
Yeah, I would say my expectations were super low, especially because I had probably done a little research at that point about the average revenue per milli or RPM for ASMR. And it was like between like $1 and $3 or something like that. But I think we were pleasantly surprised that we made any money. And probably the first day was only like $1 or something like that. I don't remember. We could probably look at it, but I can't remember exactly.
It looks like your first day, February 9th, was $19.94.
So yeah, that's a decent amount.
It's a great first day.
Yeah, you went from, your first month was about 3,000 views. Your next month was about 30,000 views. And your third month was 300,000 views. And then within 6 months, you were already averaging over 1 million views per month and making over $6,000 per month. Like, what do you think made your rise to success, or growth at least, happen so much faster than the average YouTuber?
I mean, I guess like Jeremy's the secret sauce, right? Everybody loves him. I don't know. I mean, if I knew that, I could sell it. You know what I mean? Like, I think I was in the right place at the right time. I entered a genre with passion about it, with knowledge about it, before a mass influx of people got into real person ASMR. I got lucky.
Is it that you were early in on an up and coming niche, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, you know, nowadays people would go, oh, Chili Bee ASMR, they're OG real person ASMR, like one of the first. There obviously were people before me. There was female ASMR who they've been doing it for years and years and years, but slightly different. But I would say Samita and I were some of the first real person ASMRs that were like really unintentional feeling and just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I genuinely think if I had started a year later and it wasn't also during the pandemic when people were consuming more content, I would not have had the same experience. I might still have monetized, but it would have taken longer. I might still have gotten the views, but it wouldn't have been such a meteoric rise because there would have been a lot more people making what I make, and I would not have been special in the same way.
So to clarify, Jeremy, your now husband, at the time dating, was like the central focus of the channel. He was your model.
He was my built-in model that I had at home. And he was so nice to just let me do whatever to him. He's the chillest guy ever.
Yeah. Do you remember like first suggesting that he be in the video? And like, is he an ASMR fan? How did he feel about it?
He is not an ASMR fan. I mean, he knew about ASMR because when we moved in together back in New York, I was like, oh, I got to tell him about this because he's going to come. We're now sharing a bedroom. And he's going to come in and he's going to catch me watching some Russian woman beating down some guy on a massage. And I'm going to have to explain that to him. And
this
I want
like
him
your
to.
vice that you're like nervous about.
And I'm just like, he's going to think I'm so crazy. But, you know, I think we like love each other, you know, so I think it's okay to talk about this. So I told him and he was just like, okay, you know, because he's very open to a lot of things. And then when it came to trying it, I don't know. I mean, he was probably like super stoned at the time too. So it was just like, whatever, sure. Like, I'll give it a go. And I feel very fortunate to have a partner who is not only like super supportive of me, but is just very down for whatever. He just kind of does whatever I ask him to do. But it also has provided us with a life that we wouldn't have otherwise. So, you know, he does certainly reap the benefits of that.
When you first started, did you tell anybody? Did you let your family know, your friends? Was it just something that you kind of kept secret? Or?
No, it was actually super embarrassing and secretive. And I mean, I might have mentioned it to like my immediate family within a few weeks or months, just because it was taking up a lot of my time. And then I started getting worried as we grew that people would actually just find out by seeing it. And I was like, that's way worse.
Just finding you organically.
Yeah. Because I had a friend who texted me and was like, is this you? And I was like, oh no, we have to start telling people.
And what point is this? Like,
I mean, only a few months in, I feel like.
And you already had people you knew randomly finding your
just
content.
That one person. It was just dumb luck that they happened to love this type of ASMR. It wasn't like people were coming out of the woodwork in any sort of meaningful way. But yeah, it was, I think, a lot easier for me because I'm a very strange person. And I think this type of behavior is kind of expected from me. My family and friends know me as odd. So I don't think they really thought twice about it. They were just like, that checks out. Yeah, Hannah's weird. For Jeremy, though, his friends were a little bit more bullying. They definitely picked on him a little bit more about it. But you know what? You know, the picking on and sort of making fun stopped when they found out how much money we were making. And then it was like, okay, damn, maybe I should get into it. But yeah, no, there is still some self-consciousness to this day when people ask what I do for a living. Sometimes I don't talk about it. I'll just say, I'm in content marketing, or just I don't want to get into this because there's always questions, right? I mean, you guys are YouTubers. There's always questions. Oh, that's your job? So sometimes I just don't even want to deal with it or talk about it. But now I'm so much more proud of what I've created, and obviously it's a lot harder to hide it because I do also get recognized in public. And yeah, I can still walk around town, but at this point, getting spotted every other month or so, you have to embrace the fact that you do play a role in people's lives. But it is extremely unique to be like, yeah, I pretend to be a doctor and I give my husband an exam. And people love it. They eat that up.
And like, what's the worst kind of reaction that you've gotten to that?
I don't like when people equate it to like sex work or something sexual. I think it's much more understood than it used to be. ASMR has just grown as a genre so much. But to be honest, to each their own. Like, if you think that way about it, so be it. Does it affect my lifestyle?
Has someone actually suggested that connection to you? Like in passing?
Ironically enough, Jeremy's ex-girlfriend was like, oh, so people like get off to it, right? And I was like, probably, but that's not the main goal. And I was just feeling like, oh man, that's like, I feel so stupid. But again, now I've bought a house and I'm running my own business. I'm like living a dream life, in my opinion. So you get to be a lot more confident in yourself just over time, anything you do, right? I would say my audience, because I make videos that I would watch, my audience is very similar to myself. Most people who seek us out or say, oh, I know you from YouTube, are about my age, very cool, very chill, just regular people who watch videos fall asleep, just like I do. So, and I've even become friends with some of my viewers now that I am filming with them as models. So it's not really that weird, because it's not like some creepy guy is coming up to me and being like, I love your stuff. It's like a 30-year-old woman with a little dog who's like, oh my God, I love your little dog. And I'm like, I love your little dog. It's great,
She looks just like you.
She looks like me, like, yeah, exactly. Like, my audience is me, because that's who I still make videos for. I make videos for myself. If I wouldn't watch it, I don't make it.
I think that's great advice for all YouTubers. It's like, if you don't love the content you're making, it's probably not going to work. I mean, I'm sure there are exceptions, but you really have to be making it for yourself on some level. What was the first comment or instance where you remember thinking like, oh, like having some level of fame could be like dangerous? Like, did that ever cross your mind?
I have been exceptionally lucky, and I know a lot of other female ASMR creators and YouTubers in general have not been so fortunate. Because I started making these videos with Jeremy, with my husband, there is a level of safety and security of having a man who is protecting you and other men who respect that. I feel like most of the scary messages actually come from men who are interested in you, and people will be like, oh, I would never step on Jeremy's toes. And it's kind of messed up, but it has insulated me from a lot of the kind of creepy or scary stuff that I know a lot of other people receive.
That's really interesting. So just by having like a male presence in your videos, you think it deters like those creepier male comments?
I mean, there's plenty of people who say like, oh, you better treat her right, or like, or like he doesn't deserve you, or kind of things. But it's not that often. People love him. So, and they love our relationship. I would say I've been very fortunate that I do not feel like nervous or scared about my viewers. They're, like I said, they're mostly like very normal people who just watch this stuff fall asleep, and the messages I receive are overwhelmingly amazing, and just very meaningful to me, that I can play any sort of positive role in their life.
You never had like the "I'm gonna hunt you down" comment?
Never. Have you guys had that?
Yes.
Someone vowed to that their life purpose on this planet was to end mine.
That is horrifying. I'm so sorry. No, I don't think so.
They said they were inspired by God and that nothing would stop them.
I will get some religious comments on like my Reiki videos that it's like satanic or...
Oh, we get those
like,
too.
There is always that slight fear that someone's going to be obsessed with you. But I am fortunate that I haven't had anyone directly approach me about that.
Okay, so to cap off your first year, 2020 ends, you're just shy of 12 million cumulative views. You have 57,000 subscribers now, and you've made already just over 50K. It's not bad for a first year on YouTube.
That's amazing. Like that was like more than a lot of people make, during their lives.
During a year.
Of course.
Worldwide, more in their lives, maybe. But
yeah.
Was there a point during that period where you were thinking to yourself, like, oh my gosh, like I could potentially make this a full-time career? There's a chance I could maybe leave my job.
The first year, I just kept waiting for it to end. I just kept waiting for it to be done and for people to stop watching me. I was really fearful of feeling confident and putting any like long-term stock into it because I think I was just like, I want to quit my job so bad. And I had to convince myself that was a bad idea. I'd be like, no, this is not going to last. Like somebody else is going to come along. And they did, other people started popping up as well, more competition who was doing better than me. And so I think you get in your own head and things stop feeling so good and impressive because you're like, well, my video got 20,000 views. Oh, that's amazing. I've only been posting for 6 months. Oh, but this person's video got 30,000 views and they've only been posting for 3 months. So I suck. So I think I wasn't really looking at the big picture at that time. I was so focused on the numbers and the micro analytics and these little pockets of things, each video, like, this video did worse than the last, and then this video did worse than the last, and everything's in the gray right now, and it's over. It's over. And then things would tick up again. And you have to learn those cycles over time on the platform and know that that's normal before you can trust yourself.
Yeah, and as more people were entering the space of what you were doing, do you think that helped your channel by, broadening the spectrum of how many people are seeing this type of content?
Now I do. At the time, I was not feeling as confident. I was like, they're prettier than me, they're producing more content than me, because I was still working full time, so I couldn't do that much. I was doing everything myself. But now I'm like, oh, it was a great thing, because they brought so many new people to the genre. Like maybe they saw one of their videos that led to one of my videos. And also now a lot of those people have become my friends. And people I like respect and I can go to and trust them and can have, companionship and peers now. It's a very unique job. So to have anyone you can call a peer and discuss things with is just so amazing. So yeah, at the time it was scary, but now looking back, it was definitely a good thing.
Why do you think it was a good thing?
Because it meant the genre was growing. It meant this little niche ASMR that only myself and a couple other people were doing was getting more popular and would advance in much bigger markets. So you started seeing ASMR in really mainstream things, mainstream commercials, like mainstream videos. W Magazine does an ASMR video series now. And so just the growth, the more people who are doing it, the more people are seeing it, the more it becomes normal, and the more you can access a greater audience. So I think it was good in that way. And again, like they've become my friends. So I would say, of the top 10 real person ASMR creators, like I know all of them. And we've collaborated together, and it's just nice to talk to somebody who knows what you're dealing with.
Yeah, I think that's a common misconception that anyone on YouTube doing the same thing as you is your competition. Like, I don't think that concept of competition applies to the YouTube space. It feels like all boats rise with the tide kind of a situation where, yeah, the more this content is being promoted and the more content other creators are producing, the more my channel is going to get recommended, the more the audience is going to broaden, the more people are going to be spending time watching this topic, and it'll circle back to me.
I agree. And there's so many creators I watch now because I got recommended through a similar creator, and I'm like, oh, I love them too. And which is not to say that there is not any drama or fighting within the ASMR real person community, but it's generally a very positive community. I think there are some, like the beauty community, I think is known for a little bit more drama. But we put people to sleep, so we're not super high energy people.
And just like a side note about ASMR kind of hitting the mainstream, I got served an ad that was like Mike Tyson doing ASMR. I think it was like for Coca-Cola.
Oh my gosh.
What a blend.
Yeah. And I was like, ASMR has officially made it into the zeitgeist.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially as, the millennials and Gen Zers age up into the main purchasing power group. They all know what ASMR is. They're all familiar with it. So that learning curve of teaching people what this is fading away.
What's the most important YouTube metric? Or perhaps what is the most overlooked YouTube metric?
For me, it used to be something different than it is now. It used to be watch time. I was very interested in like how long people were retaining viewership on the videos. I really did not like to see that go down. I wanted to see it go up because I felt like that was such a huge role in YouTube promoting it. And I do think that that's true. It also helped with revenue to have longer watch time and longer videos. Now that I'm shifting more away from just view content revenue and towards like launching my own product, I'm much more interested in demographic and who is watching my videos.
So what are the things that you've done to try to work towards improving both of those metrics? Like in the early days, you were focused on watch time. What did you do to try to increase that watch time? And now you're focused on demographics. Like, is there anything strategy that you're putting in place to try to cater to a certain demographic?
Absolutely. So I just started making my videos longer. So when I first started, they were 10, 15 minutes long. Now I would say my average is like between 25 and 35 minutes. And I really try not to make it less than that. And as far as demographic goes, there are certain video concepts that draw more, like I definitely want to appeal more to female viewers, more to people like in my age range. Because again, I'm making things that I would personally use. I'm making content I would personally watch. And so I want to keep with that audience because that's who I know, because that's who I am. There were definitely some concepts that really drove a different audience, more male audience, more international audience, that I have tapered off. So for example, one of the things I used to do was a TSA pat down, which sounds really crazy, but it's a lot of clothing sounds, personal attention, focus, touch, things like that. Very heavily skewed male, very heavily skewed international, and low watch time, but got a lot of views. Got millions of views. But they weren't super valuable views because they were only watching the TSA pat downs. They weren't watching my other videos. They weren't really a fan of the channel. They just liked this one specific concept and sound. And that's totally valid and fine. But it was skewing all the numbers on my channel. So I stopped making them. I haven't made one in quite some time.
So YouTube is valuable it's where the majority of your revenue comes from. It's the biggest earning platform for, I think, pretty much every creator. TikTok, you can earn a fair amount from the streams and the lives. And it also has this added benefit of kicking, for you, a ton of subscribers over to your YouTube channels. What is the value of Instagram? You said that all creators should be on Instagram. Instagram, to my knowledge, doesn't pay as a platform. What do they provide?
So they are starting to pay. I am part of a beta program where I'm getting a flat fee every month for posting videos.
I didn't know about this.
I'm special.
And what are they paying you?
I'm getting a month.
Okay.
Wow.
And for how much content?
For posting 8 exclusive videos that are not on any other shorts content, but they're still clipped out from my long form content. I just don't post them on other platforms.
Wow, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
It's a great deal. I think more so that Instagram, there's so much politics involved in all of this too, right? So we live in the world, and the world is affected by the billionaire owning class who runs all of these social media platforms. And TikTok has really changed, and the algorithm has really changed since the failed shutdown of it. And I think people are flooding a little bit more to the meta products, which like you could argue was on purpose. And yeah, so I think, it's all about being where your audience is. And like right now, my audience is there. So
On Instagram.
So I'm growing there, and it's definitely a different audience. Again, like I said, my demographics are something I'm paying more attention to now. Instagram tends to be heavier female, heavier US audience, heavier millennial and Gen Z audience. So that's super important to me to have access to that group of people.
Okay, so entering into 2022, you're averaging about 1.5 million views a month, around 7K per month, but growth kind of just slows for a while. You're still growing, but nowhere near the rate that you did in that first year. Was this like a discouraging time for you? Did you feel like you needed to change something about your content? Did you seek other revenue streams? Like, were you pivoting? Like, what were you doing to try to get things going?
There was one point where I had like a technical problem with YouTube where my revenue went down. That was a little later on. It was called like invalid traffic. It didn't last that long. At the time, it was like heartbreaking. YouTube has this proprietary algorithm that spots suspicious traffic. They don't tell you anything about it. They just say suspicious traffic was seen on your videos, which could mean like bots or whatever. I don't know exactly what. And every couple of weeks or months, they sweep your channel to see if all traffic, all videos and views are legitimate. I got flagged as illegitimate. I still, to this day, don't believe that there were illegitimate views on my channel, but whatever. Because of that, they refunded the advertisers all this money for these illegitimate views, and they docked my revenue despite having the same level of views by like 40% or something. So I was still producing content. I just wasn't getting paid.
What was that work-life balance like when
it was horrible.
You're working full-time, you're also doing YouTube, and then finding time for yourself and your partner?
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. I think during that time when things were really steady, I was starting to lose my mind because I was working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Then I was working, we were filming on the weekends. I was editing at night. I was really working 7 days a week, pretty full time. And, it was fine during the pandemic when there was nothing else to do, but suddenly things were opening up and I wanted to do more things and I wanted to travel and I wanted to see friends and family. And I just didn't feel like I had the time. So that was probably also contributed to the slow in growth, which was just like, I can't keep up with this. Like I can't keep up with the level of output that other people are doing who are doing this full time. I just can't. Some weeks it's only going to be one video. Some weeks it's just going to be a compilation. That was my biggest struggle, was just feeling really overwhelmed, feeling really overworked, and also feeling the pressure from people. The more you produce, the longer people expect it. So it would be things like, okay, I didn't post today because I just couldn't get it done. I have this big project at work. And someone would comment like, missed you so much. Like, when's the next video? Which is a very lovely and reassuring thing that there are people who care and who love your content that much. But it was a lot of pressure. So yeah, I think that was a tough year just because I wasn't seeing massive growth. I didn't feel like I could quit my job. I needed health insurance. Jeremy was working at it as a contractor at that time. He was on my health care. And I just didn't really know what was going to happen. I knew something would have to give. Either I'd have to give up YouTube or it would have to keep growing to the point where I could take a break.
What allowed you to just keep pushing through? What prevented you from, just being like, okay, this isn't growing the way I need it to. I can't be doing both of these things. How did you persevere for so long?
I don't know. I just did. I felt responsible to my family to provide that income source and provide that level of savings that we were able to tuck away for future. You just do it. I mean, how does anybody just keep going in life? You just do it. Drew's got kids. You just do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I lost a little bit of the joy at that time. It definitely took some of the fun out of it when it became like, okay, I have to do this now.
I just want to hit on this one more time. Like $7,000 a month is where you're like, this is where you're like stuck, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a $90K salary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why were you still working? Like, why not quit?
I think because I was making like $140,000 at my job at that time. So it would have been a big pay cut and we wouldn't have had insurance, which would have been even harder. I live in an extremely high cost of living city. My rent was like $3,500 a month. I mean, the hustle culture is something I definitely embraced when I was living in New York and even early days and here in Seattle. I just couldn't bring myself to give it up.
You must have thought of like an amount of money where YouTube would have to generate for you to quit. Presumably, you prefer being a YouTuber to your job at this point. Like, tell me about that. Like, what's the goal?
I don't think I had like a number in mind per se. I actually didn't mind my job at this point. I would have done them both forever, except for I started getting nervous about people at my job finding out. And I went on an offsite with my team and we had a speaker and they said, "You look so familiar to me. Like, where do I know you from?" And I'm sure I just like looked like someone they knew, but it was this underlying panic of like, I'm lying all the time. I didn't tell my company about this. I don't think they would have been comfortable with it because my role was somewhat media facing.
What do you think they would have done?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they would have been okay with it, but I think because of the level of it, they would have maybe tried to switch my role up, make me like not a face role. And I don't know if there would have been a position. I don't know. I just was nervous about it. And I liked going into the office every once in a while. And I liked being on calls with my coworkers and having other creative people. And loneliness has definitely been a major thing I've had to deal with and tackle since going full-time YouTuber. Because I do work alone predominantly. So there were a lot of factors of why I wanted to stay at my job. It wasn't just about the number. And then at the same time, Jeremy lost his job. So I was like, well, now I definitely can't stop doing both. But luckily he was not unemployed very long, but we didn't know, you just take things day by day. I'm not someone who has like a big overall plan for life.
Fall of 22, you have this surge in growth and you very quickly crossed into 5-figure revenue per month territory. And you top out in December at about 2.5 million views. What unlocked that growth? Was there a particular strategy?
TikTok. I launched my channel in July. I went viral in August. So I went from having like a couple hundred followers on TikTok to a few 100,000 followers within like 6 weeks. It drove a lot of traffic to my YouTube channel. It drove a lot of traffic to the genre. And then on top of that, other people started seeing success on TikTok that was driving people that would drive people to YouTube as a platform. YouTube Shorts came along not that long after that. That also helped grow the channel. I had a couple of big hits on that. That even drives subscribers and views on YouTube even more because you're already on the platform.
How much content were you needing to produce every week for TikTok and for YouTube? The
beauty with what I do and with long form content in general is it's very easy to cut down into clips. So I didn't have to I did produce some exclusive content and still do for short form, depending on what I think will work best on that. But I didn't have to. I could just take a 30-minute video and make 20 clips. And so that was really helpful in having a lot to post. I think at some point on TikTok, I was posting like 3 videos a day. Just Some people post way more than that. Now I definitely do less and I make less, but I just found that my time was better spent and more enjoyed doing other things. So I'd say I post like 5 to 6 times a week now on TikTok and short form.
And then how about on YouTube? How many days do you post?
So I post once a week per channel. I now have 2 main channels. I have a third that I don't post consistently on. So I won't, and I don't really make any money on it. It's just for fun. But twice a week, essentially, 1 per channel.
Plug the channel for us. What's the third channel?
The third channel is Chili Bee POV. And that's where I talk directly to the camera and give you, the viewer, ASMR. So it's been a lot of fun. It has grown like relatively quickly. I think up to like 10 or 11,000 subscribers in the first month. But of course, a lot of those have come over from my other channels. So it's not like starting from scratch.
2022's your second full year, closes out 23 million views, 142,000 subscribers added, I believe, or total.
Must be total.
$100,000 in revenue, just a hair shy of $100,000 in revenue. It's safe to say things are going well. You're still full time, I think, at this point. Like, what point did you finally quit your job?
End of I left my job in mid-January 2023.
What was that changing point where you actually felt like you could take that leap and quit your job?
It was 2 things. The first one was extremely practical. My husband, or my fiance at the time, got a job with health insurance that I could be on. That was a huge thing. Health insurance in the US is a lot of money out of pocket, thousands of dollars. And I have like a decent amount of medical needs. Like my body's like always breaking. I'm always going to physical therapy for some reason, for one thing or another. I needed to have good health insurance. So that was, okay, you've got a new job, health insurance, slightly higher pay. That's all very helpful. And then just extreme burnout. And knowing that this might be my only chance, that YouTube can go away whenever. I just sort of shifted my frame of mind from YouTube can go away whenever, like I can't do this, to, YouTube could go away whenever. Like I have to take advantage of this now.
It's wild the amount of work that you were doing. And I think then that lines up with your really delving into short form. Your original channel is roughly flat. You earn about the same revenue and views, slightly more, but your new channel now produces 19 million views in that first year that it's live and about 40K in revenue. And then one thing I want to touch on it at the end of 2023, this is where I think shorts like really impacts you for the first time, YouTube shorts. And there's this video, can you pull it up, Dallas? ASMR Doctor Roleplay, Sharp or Dull Fail. This short gets 4.75 million views in 2 weeks, taking your channel to 12 million views in that month, I believe. About like 10x from the prior month, I think.
Yeah, so these videos had also already gone viral on TikTok.
It's a funny video.
The Sharp or Dull videos are what made me go viral on TikTok. The first one was a Sharp or Dull video. I like to say I'm the inventor of Sharp or Dull ASMR. And most people who watch ASMR Real Person have seen one of these videos. I don't 100% know why it's so popular or satisfying, but it is, and it just seems to hit every time. Like I can pretty much guarantee in some weird way. But that's the beauty of content creation. It's like you never know what's gonna hit. Like these videos, the first video I did and put up on TikTok, like I had no idea that it would be so popular, that it would spur an entire genre and billions of views.
Where do you find the ideas? Where do you come up with them? Like what made you think of Sharp and Dull? Like are these things that you've experienced yourself?
I'm a big thief. Like I watch real medical exam videos by actual doctors, and these are real medical tests that get done. And I find them satisfying, and therefore I recreate them. Like I'm not coming up with all this stuff. I would say on the Reiki side of things, I'm a little bit more creative in coming up with my own triggers, but the medical stuff, I stay very true to reality. Like
they seem very professional.
I have said to Jeremy many times, like I could go into a hospital and spend like at least, it would take them at least like 10 hours to figure out that I wasn't a real doctor. And then I would be like instantly arrested, you know? But I have enough sort of canned knowledge, and I have actually like diagnosed him with some issues where I'm just like, that's a nerve issue. Not that I have any medical experience. I have no medical experience. I'm not a medical practitioner. I cannot give you medical advice. But I've watched so much content over the years by actual medical providers that I probably have the equivalent of like 1 year of medical school under my belt.
So a few months later on your other channel, you post another Sharper Dull Fail
This
short.
must be Emily.
This one is the big boy. 7 million views in 3 weeks, which is wild.
So this video has like 60 something million views on TikTok and another like 30, 40 million on Instagram. For some reason, this is the one. And she was just in town, actually. She just stayed with me for a week. I love her so much. And we've recreated this a bunch of times and they all do relatively well. But this one, for some reason, is just the big boy. I don't know if it's just
the one that broke the ice for the platforms, maybe?
It's just every time it comes out, people like watching it. Like, she's so beautiful and like the setting is so serene and the sound is crisp. And it's just, you know, sometimes you get it right.
But it's the fail aspect of both of these videos that are sending them to the stratosphere, right?
Well, that really increases engagement, right? Because there's a lot of people being like, she's faking it. There's a lot of people being like, it's Botox. There's a lot of people being like, what's actually wrong with her? What kind of test is this? It's more interesting. She does not have Botox, everyone. Okay? It's fake. We make it up. I tell her what to feel.
Oh, I thought it was real.
Oh, really? Okay. I mean,
It is fake.
Yeah.
She's lying about getting it wrong on purpose.
Yes.
For the views.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Genius.
You're so deceptive, Hannah. I love and hate that you did that.
She's a good actress because
she is.
It feels
she's
very
the
real.
best. Emily's an amazing creator in her own right. She's got a channel called MV ASMR. She's awesome, and I love her videos. You just don't know. I mean, and that all comes back to the same thing. You have to just make stuff. I didn't know that video was going to get hundreds of millions of views across platforms. I didn't know. We went in my backyard. We shot a quick video. You just have to make stuff.
Yeah.
There are plenty of videos that I shot a quick video that got no views. And they'll never be talked about, you know?
These shorts that, to YouTube shorts specifically, have generated this insane amount of views for your channels broadly. A lot of people will say that YouTube shords, in terms of revenue, is useless. Like, has that been your experience? Like, what is the value of them?
I again, like, by the time I posted YouTube shorts, I wasn't actively looking at the revenue and the numbers every day. It was more of an overall thing. But it adds up. I think, you know, few thousand a year or something. That's nothing to...
In YouTube Shorts revenue. Just a few thousand a year.
But, I mean, yeah, it's nothing compared to long form video, but it's not nothing. It's real money that helps pay my bills. And it drives traffic to the long form videos because you can link the long form videos to the short forms. So in that video that got millions and millions of views, I have a long form video linked to it, and it is currently my most popular video with 2 or 3 million views. So it does add up. It does help. I have a love-hate relationship with shorts, as I'm sure all creators do, because it does take away eyeballs from long-form content, which is, you know, how you make money. But I think there's a way to do it symbiotically, and you can't ignore it. It's a thing. People watch shorts.
Only 6,700, almost 6,800 in
1,000%.
YouTube Shorts.
You say only, but, you know, like that's like my food bill for the year. You know what I mean? So
only as in comparatively,
right?
With
obviously, compared to long form, it's less than 1 month's revenue. But yeah, again, it's so hard because I can sit here and be like, I'm not in it for the money, but of course, it's my job, so I am somewhat in it for the money. But I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. And I think that's why I also stopped looking at the analytics so much, because it started feeling not fun. It started feeling like the numbers were the only thing that mattered. And that's not how I got into it. It's not how I felt when I got into it, when I was enjoying it the most. And since stepping back from that, and obviously I have to pay my bills. If I had a massive loss in revenue, that would be important to note. But I'm very steady. I'm very consistent. And I can kind of not be looking every single day at this point and just be making good videos and trust that my audience will be there and trust in myself that I know what's relaxing. Because, yeah, I mean, the numbers will drive you nuts.
I will say one thing I did notice in reviewing your analytics is like that last video we looked at alone has brought in 50,000 subscribers. So what shorts, don't produce in revenue, they make up for in subscribers, arguably. I would say that's
absolutely.
In looking at the analytics, that's the value, I think.
Subscribers that then watch your long form videos, hopefully, and subscribers that help sponsors offer you higher rates, so it all counts, it all adds up. And just the reach alone is just like amazing to me. I never thought I'd have that kind of reach and impact on people across the planet. So it's freaking cool. I'm just this little nerd with no friends. Like, I say that and you guys all laugh, but I literally graduated high school early because I had no friends and I was so lonely and sad. It took a lot of work. Like, I had to work on being likable. And so to have this platform where people like me is like psychologically very intoxicating for me.
Do you feel like there's a downside to that? Getting so much value from your online audience?
I think there can be, but I'm pretty good at managing the parasocial relationships in the sense that I take it with a grain of salt. Not everybody's going to like you, but I've also made some really good connections and friends. Some of my viewers, some other creators. I do have a stable home life at this point. I'm married to my best friend. My dog and I are really big buds. I know that's like, he's not a human being, but like, kind of is, you know what I mean? He's my best friend. So, and I have amazing relationship with my family, and I have some solid friends now that I've had for many, many years. So I think I have a good balance of groundedness and also just like the meeting people has been amazing. I am working on a physical product. I've been manufacturing it overseas. I would not have been able to do this without one of my viewers who I met through the video, who is a manufacturing expert, and mentioned that when she came in to be a model in the video. She said, if you're ever going to work on a product, let me know. I can help you. I reached out to her a year later and said, hey, remember when you said this thing? Like, is that a real thing? And she has been absolutely crucial to getting my product into production and through this whole process. I literally would not have been able to do it without her. So I still go back to like the viewers, the people. That is what makes this all so valuable to me. And not just like what I can use them for, but what they give back to me, like that purpose and that meaning in life. Like, there's nothing like feeling like your work matters. I never had that in corporate America. So I know the difference that it feels like.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about YouTube is that it's like community building. Like, you're building a group of people that, have like-minded views and you bond.
Yeah.
So 2024, you have roughly the same viewership on your main channel, but you add 51 million views in shorts, and your subs actually almost double to 422,000. Your second channel does 18 million in long form views, 35 million in short form views. But the year ends on sort of a sour note. Like, you've had since I think the fall of 24, both channels have just seen month over month declines generally in both revenue and views. I know that towards the end of the year, we meet regularly and talk about YouTube. I know that you've talked a lot about feeling burned out. Is one the reason for the other? Like, is the decline and the like constant need to like pivot and keep it going and find a new way to have success driving your burnout? Or do you think burnout has contributed to the downward trajectory of both your channels?
I think more the latter, possibly because I've literally just produced less content. So I went from producing 2 videos a week on Chili Bee and at least 1 video a week on the second channel on Chill With Me. I'm now down to max 1 video a week. I also will take a week off every 4 or 5 weeks. I just can't keep up. I'm also focusing on other things. So, investing time and energy into this product, working more on my personal life and volunteering in my community, and just feeling like, okay, I don't need to I'm not super obsessed with capitalism. I'm actually like a very proud socialist. Like, I believe that we don't need to just like make as much money as humanly possible. I've been a place where I don't need to keep growing and making more money. I have enough money to make my life what I want it to be comfortable. And therefore I've stepped back a little bit from the level of work and from posting as much, because I'm where I need to be financially, and I need to now dedicate some more of my time and energy to myself and to my community. It's a privilege to be able to decide that. It is an absolute privilege. I am entitled as when it comes to that. Most people do not get to say, I have enough money. Thanks. I'm good. I'm actually okay. I can step back now and spend more time doing what I want to do instead.
With YouTube and your 2 channels, how many hours do you think you're putting in a week?
Overall, probably close to 40. I would say like 25 pretty active hours where I'm filming, editing, posting, things like that. But then there's so many little moments of replying to comments for 20 minutes at night, and sending an email off here and there, or doing a call, or like coming out and doing a podcast like this. The things I don't necessarily bake into my day-to-day sit at my desk routine, but they're still part of the job. Shopping for props, getting myself ready. I don't think about that as time spent on my job, but I wouldn't be putting on makeup and doing my hair if I wasn't going to film. I'm a unicolored sweatsuit kind of girl. Pink on top, pink on bottom, hair in a bun, nothing else, So if I have to put on a bra, that's part of the time that I spend on my job, right? So I would say pretty close to like 35, 40 active hours, yeah.
So what at this point are your goals around content creation?
I actually would like to do less content moving forward. I think that my tolerance level for being on camera is starting to shrink. I would rather make less but higher quality and longer videos than having to pump out content. Right now I'm doing anywhere between 2 to 4 videos a week. That is a ton for a single person. So in an ideal world, as I shift towards creating ASMR product, I would actually go down in content as far as my output goes. Quality over quantity type of thing. But again, that's a luxury. That's something you can only do once you hit a certain level of growth and you have a following that will keep coming back to you. And I think that I've gotten there, and I think that I've earned that over the last 4 years. So I don't see a ton changing, though, as far as a massive shift in what type of videos I make. I think people really rely on them for sleep. I wouldn't want to take that away. And I have a certain responsibility to meet the needs of my audience at this point. So I want to listen to them, continue to grow and be creative, but also, provide them with what they expect so that they can reap the benefits of it that they need.
Tell me about your physical product. I'm kicking myself for not asking you to bring it.
I almost did, but the final product will be slightly different than the prototype that I currently have. So I was like, I don't know if I want to bring it.
But explain what it is for the audience.
The product is a physical stimuli to help encourage giving yourself ASMR tingles. So ASMR tingles, which you guys know, but for the audience, are these little sort of prickly, good feelings that you get in the back of your neck and into your scalp, and it just makes you really relaxed and it feels good. And we so rarely do things just because they feel good. Yes, maybe you'll go get a massage and that's muscle work, but these lighter and more intricate touches, harken back to a time when we were primates and we would groom each other, and your mom's brushing your hair, and that feeling of just like care and physical touch that we rarely do, especially as adults, beyond maybe our intimate relationships. This will be a gemstone body scratcher that is designed to feel like human hands, human nails, that you can rub up along your arms, on your face, into your scalp, and it just feels good. So that's what this is designed after, is that nice, scratchy, cold feeling of the amethyst gemstone all over you.
That sounds very nice. I'm hypersensitive to touch and sound and all that stuff too. And I'm always doing like natural stimulation.
Self-stimulation, self-scratching.
Spider looking thing that I put on my head and I do it on my elbow and I do it on my knees.
Love that thing.
That's great.
So yeah, so basically that's what it is. And again, like staying true to the genre of ASMR, like you're not going to see me come out with a clothing line.
Do you want to plug the product? Is it ready to be? It's not out yet. Do you want to tell people where and when they can get it?
Yeah, so you can go to prettyfeelings.com. That's the website. Sign up for the mailing list and get, news and info on when it does eventually release. It is a slow process, but I'm trying to do it right. So
if you could go back in time and start YouTube from the beginning, what would you do differently?
I would have started earlier, for sure. I would have definitely joined TikTok sooner. I pushed that off for far too long, and I missed the biggest revenue period of that platform. I would have maybe put into place some processes earlier on that I'm now having to just put into place now, like scheduling apps, and maybe even invested more into the business right when I had the more disposable income, where when I was saving up for the house and we had a lot more money in the bank, I would have maybe invested into like hiring someone to help me so I could grow faster. Now I don't have that disposable income to spare, so I can't do it. So those types of things, just trusting myself, investing more into the business up front, and be more confident that it's not going to just all go away, so that I could think of it as more of a long-term plan and think more in the future.
If you could give one piece of advice to someone who wanted to start a YouTube channel today, what would it be?
Put up a video today. Get your phone out. Shoot a video. Put it up online. Keep doing it. And connect with other creators, other small creators even. You have 200 subscribers, find someone who has 400. Do something together. Start crafting your community. Start creating your networking and your getting advice from other people. Use the resources that are out there, but the most important thing is to put up a video today.
Mm-hmm. That's what I always tell people. I can't agree more. The reception of your first video, no matter what it is, if it's 5 views, it will be surprisingly motivating to make you put out that second video. And it's absolutely right. You put out that first video and you take the first step in what will be a chain reaction, and you will keep going at least for a while. You will test out your idea, but you got to put up that first video.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that get caught up in having to make the video perfect. It's like, don't make the video perfect.
Mm-mm.
Just make it what it is and just get it out there.
People don't even like perfect videos.
It's true.
They can't relate to perfect videos.
Exactly.
Something that's overproduced is just, that's television.
Yeah.
And this is YouTube.
Exactly. Want something organic and authentic. Great advice.
Hannah, thanks so much for being a guest.
Thanks for having me. What a walk down memory lane this was.
Yeah, it was fun for us. I hope it was fun for you. You do an incredible job. And of course, I will be rooting for you all the way.
All the way.
Thanks, guys. I'm really glad that YouTube has brought, people like you into my life. Like it's added a lot. So thank you.
Making it on YouTube is no easy feat, but Hannah's story just showed us that it can be done. Hello, my name is Dallas. I'm the producer of Making It, and here we are at the end of the episode. And here I am asking again for you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And additionally, leave a comment down below tagging a YouTuber whose story you want to hear, and we'll do our best to make it happen. Until next time.